Hi, it's June 25th, and I thought we would start in the back corner here, and then the light will be behind me instead of in my face. So, right outside my garage door, the man door, is this sunflower that's doing quite well for itself. Over here is the raspberry patch. So I've basically decided that the raspberry patch can take up that space. And it's working its way to doing that, but it's also trying to fill in that space, and I'm trying to keep it from doing that. So I dig out any of the raspberries that show up in that gravel. Unfortunately, they're also moving into that flower bed. I don't want the raspberries to spread that far, but it's a job keeping them out of there. So right now I'm standing in the back corner of the yard. There's my patio. This is the... Hi, Trouble. How you doing? Oh, you've been snoozing somewhere, have you? So there's Trouble's catmint, or catnip. I bought this little guy this year. It's kind of pretty. The hollyhock that just won't quit, and more sunflowers. I have lost count of how many sunflowers I've pulled out of here. I'm basically pulling out anything except what I want to allow to grow for the time being. I don't even know if some of them might not make it through the entire summer. There's a lot of them, you'll notice as we go by. So this is Luke's collection, and Luke and Nick just bought themselves a house. They'll be moving out over the next week, but because she's had them here for the last few months, this pot here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sunflowers in it. So she's taking sunflowers. Here's where we put the corn this year, and there's a volunteer something here. Pumpkin or squash, one or the other. Rhubarb's doing nicely in this corner. It used to be over there where I'm going to let the raspberries take over, and it was too hot and too dry even for rhubarb. But you can see here that it's looking pretty healthy and pretty happy, and I can tell you, some of the leaves on there are finally at the stage where I could make rhubarb leaf stepping stones out of them like I had in Rockyford. So that might pop up on my agenda, if not this year, then next year. This is the cucumber patch, actually. So this one is the one that survived being bought at the store and not planted soon enough. And then another sunflower. And then you can see a bunch of baby cucumbers coming. So I may have more sunflowers than I know what to do with. The sunflowers, cucumbers. That's okay, I know people I can give them to. I don't really know what's going on here. So I had Harlan turn this over for me and leave the dirt, and then I haven't gotten to it. My back's getting a little bit better, but I'm still moving real slow, doing not too much at once. This is another bed it's my under the plum tree bed. But it is also kind of going wild, certainly on this side. I didn't get the plum tree trimmed last year either, and I would like to do that. I don't think it's nice of me to have my tree showing up in my neighbor's yard. I'd like to do something about that. They're really good neighbors. I don't think they really mind that much, but you know, I'd rather be polite. So as you can see, where are we going here? There they are. The sunflowers they just grow so well that it's hard to take them out. So I left 3 here, and I'm basically pulling out any more that I find, because this is the pepper garden. So like this guy has got to go, and then all these stupid little trees, but that's a pepper, and that's a snapdragon. More peppers. So I have 2 kinds of peppers here, jalapenos and sweet red. And there are 8 plants. And then these guys. I mean, they're spectacular. It's hard to pull them out, but at the same time, they're huge. This batch of daylily, orange daylily, is also getting too big for its location. So you can see it's kind of in the way of the path here. That'll get up. Probably just trim the leaves off at this point, but in the fall I'll divide it and move it behind it. The goal is to have the whole yard in something like perennials like this, so that I don't have to do anything out here. You know, come around every now and then in the spring and take away the places like this. Anyway, so these are some kind of perennial geranium. They're kind of cool though, and they do well here. Drought tolerant. High bush cranberries looking healthy this year. And then the ginormous sunflowers. So I'm going to go over here and walk up the gravel a little bit, because I can do that at the moment, although the raspberries are threatening to make it difficult. So this is where I put all the tomatoes this year. Okay, so that's kind of funky light. Let's go back the other way. You can see better from this side, maybe. Maybe? So there's some tomatoes. Yeah, some kind of tomato. Can't remember what kind now. Changed my mind. Back here. Okay, so if I with shadow or without? Anyway, what we're looking at here is my basil patch. Now, it's a little hard to identify the basil because there's a whole bunch of trees and weeds coming up. But it seems to be the story of my life around here. See, that's what I mean about the raspberries. They're trying to make it into this garden bed. I actually pulled one out of here just the other day. Like, there's one right there. See, more sunflowers. Those ones are not as big, but they'll get that way if I don't take them out of there. The other high bush cranberry, like, clearly something in this neighborhood eats the berries before they get to produce berries, because here's one where they haven't quite cleaned it off. The yard is full of grackles, so I'm assuming it's the grackles. This is the lovage. I took all the flower heads off of it the other day, but it's huge. Now we're over here by my air conditioning. I just saw a flower head I missed. Yeah. See, the lovage is a gigantic plant. So it might have to find a new home this fall too. And then I think we'll go back this way. Get that sun behind us again. Okay, so I love this snow in summer. It's so nice when it's in bloom. And it's extremely drought tolerant. You can walk on it and it doesn't mind. And then the other thing that happens is you can see that the strawberries and the snow in summer are starting to come together. And when they do, you get big, juicy strawberries. Like, look at them. Oh, where'd they go? They're there. That's a nice strawberry. Nom nom. So we're on the other side of the high bush cranberry now. Lilac. More sunflowers. And the other side of the plum tree. So I've got some ground covers. I got some volunteer romaine lettuce. Look how good that looks. Not bad, eh? But you can see there's a couple more sunflowers back there in amongst the I don't know what kind of tree it is. People keep telling me, and I keep writing it off out of my mind because to me it's just a weed. But you can sort of notice that in there between the two sunflowers is another type of lettuce. This is where I planted my bush beans this year, and then ground cover, and the strawberries. So the strawberries were interested in moving to this side of the path last fall, and clearly they managed it. Hi, trouble. So last year they were just on that side. Now they're on this side too. There's another nice big volunteer romaine. Nice, eh? These lilies, again, too close to the path. Gonna have to move them in the fall. This ground cover, it's effective, but I've started pulling it out like a weed too. And this is not a good idea. So it's wonderful that the strawberries have filled in the ground in between the blocks, but it means that when you're walking through here, you really have to lift your feet, which is, not necessarily a bad thing, but anyway, doesn't seem very intelligent to me, I guess. I have another. This is the carrot, second year carrot, getting ready to bloom. That makes me happy. More volunteer lettuce. And then the garlic. This garlic, I tell you. So, like 6 years ago, I had a garlic go to seed, just like these ones are trying to do now. They get a flower on them that looks kind of like an allium, and then it turns into what I can only describe as a bulb of seed garlics, and they're like the size of what a pea, and they fell on the ground, and every single freaking one of them grew a garlic. So I have been trying to separate them so that they grow an actual bulb of garlic, but it just is never high enough on the priority list. So here they are. This is like their 4th year or 3rd year for sure in this location. There's a bazillion of them. I will say though that garlic greens, not a bad thing to have in the freezer over the winter. Kind of nice. And then this is the chive corner. In amongst the chives is this, it's a daylily. Sorry, not coming up with the name. Mo used to have one, and I was envious of Mo's, but now I can't remember what it's called.